Kay Miskell, Cherish Kelly, Melanie Taylor, and Pam Gowans decide they cannot stay at the Royal Palms Resort any longer. All four immediately exit the conference room and run for the lobby exit. Outside of the entrance, they are emerged into a state of chaos. Pam looks around to see vacationers running frantically in all directions, including in and out of the several sets of lobby doors for the Royal Palms Resort. Cherish looks to the sky as she sees that a violent storm is quickly moving over the island. Melanie can also see some of the undead assailants heading their way as they tackle and devour some of the other vacationers. Kay Miskell and the others reach into their pockets and bags to pull out as much cash as they can find. Clearly, all this money was to be used for vacation expenses at the resort. Pam quickly sights a local cabbie that is about to peel off. The four ladies run in front of the car and offer him $1,500 cash if he can get them to the airport with no stops whatsoever. The cab driver shakes his head no for a brief second, but then realizes he couldn't make that much money in 3 months even if he worked day and night. He agrees as Cherish gets into the passenger seat, and Kay, Pam, and Melanie pile into the rear seats of the minivan cab. The cab driver speeds like a bat out of hell and maneuvers wildly through the streets, doing his best to dodge the stalled vehicles on the road, civilians, and zombified bodies. He doesn't allow anything to stop his vehicle from making it to the airport. Minutes later, the cab races up to a secured entrance leading to the airport runway and hangars. The cab screams past the secured checkpoint as his windshield cracks from the force of hitting the gate and all four of his tires explode from the reverse tire spikes. The cab driver slams on the minivan's brakes as it screeches to a halt. Melanie and the others quickly exit the vehicle. They can all see fires coming from the airport terminal and watch as a few small planes try to get into the air. Pam immediately starts running to the runway as the others call for her to wait for them. However, Pam continues to run and doesn't look back. Kay Miskell tells the others,
"I'm not just going to stand on this runway and hope that someone stops for us. We have to find an airplane to possibly fly up the island."
Cherish responds,
"We don't even know how to fly a plane. We're better off trying to flag one down."
Kay is adamant in her decision and tells the others good luck. She runs off towards one of the hangars as Melanie and Cherish stick together to try and flag down one of the planes starting their departure off of the runway. Moments later, Kay reaches the hangar and can see a single unused 2-engine Cessna airplane. She approaches the entrance hatch and notices the body of what appears to be a pilot lying on the small entrance staircase. She uses all of her might and pulls the pilot off to the side, his face partially eaten away at. She loosens his stiffened fingers and takes the airplane keys and wastes no time entering the plane and closes the hatch door. With an extreme amount of luck and referencing her favorite movie comedy Airplane, she manages to start the engines of the Cessna as it begins to roll forward. She increases the power as the airplane picks up speed down the runway. Melanie and Cherish spot the plane approaching quickly. They both briefly spot Kay in the pilot's seat and start waving their arms crazily to flag her down. However, Kay is unwilling to take any chances of the zombies getting on board and adjusts the flaps as the plane ascends into the air. Melanie panics, looks to Cherish, and says,
"There's no way this is going to work. We need to try and get back to the bungalow district where some of the others said they were going."
Cherish tries to quickly convince Melanie to stay, but Melanie pulls away and starts running towards the security entrance and heads off to the tree-lined jungle of Canoi to stay hidden on her way back towards the resort. Cherish sticks to the original plan and tries to flag down another Cessna. However, the plane doesn't stop. Cherish screams and waves her arms dramatically, but is unsuccessful in trying to flag down an additional 4 airplanes. She turns and sees several of the infected moving towards her. Cherish, feeling fatigued from screaming, jumping, and running around the runway, tries to outrun the infected. She loses her footing and falls hard to the ground. By the time she looks up, the infected have already started ripping at her flesh. Her screams pierce through the air. Pam Gowans turns her attention as she hears the screams from Cherish. Pam sees the infected feasting on Cherish not far from her position. She turns to see one of the last airplanes moving towards her. Pam jumps up and down in front of the plane's path. The pilot of the plane slows down, and Pam sees the door hatch open. 2 others inside of the small plane yell for her to quickly jump in as the zombies are right behind her. Pam runs and looks just over her shoulder as the infected are within 15 feet of her position. The pilot sees the crazed zombies racing for the plane and increases the power to the Cessna. Pam tries to run up the staircase while the plane is in motion, but the fast-moving zombies lunge for Pam and pull her back and begin ripping her to pieces. 2 other zombies latch onto the attached staircase and try to enter the airplane. Pam's arm reaches out as the small Cessna moves quickly down the runway and into the distance. The airplane ascends into the air as one of the zombies loses its grip and plummets into the ocean. The last zombie nearly makes its way into the passenger area. The pilot turns the plane to a quick 45-degree angle as it nears what appears to be a deserted island just off the coast of Canoi. One of the passengers kicks the zombie forcefully to the face as it loses its grip and falls below into the forest line of the small, uninhabited island. Meanwhile, Melanie Taylor, who had left Cherish on the runway, continues to try and make her way through the thick and steeply hilled tree line. She peers down the treacherous-looking hill as she hears the moaning of the undead in the nearby distance. This increases her panic level. Melanie jolts forward, her head turning in every direction that she cannot tell where the zombie moans are coming from. The continuous watching over her back and side to side causes her to misplace her next step as she hears a crunch from her ankle as she yells out in pain and starts rolling uncontrollably down the uneven tree-lined hill, hitting several bushes, limbs, and small drop-offs as she lands into a ravine of water. Melanie screams for help as her twisted ankle and numerous broken bone injuries from falling uncontrollably down the tree line send shrills of pain all over her body. The water in the ravine continues to rise as she tries to move her arms to pull herself towards the muddy edge, currently 20 feet from her position. However, the pain from her broken body is too severe. About 15 minutes later, barely 2 feet from where she originally landed, the heavy rain continues to pour over Melanie as the water creeps over her entire body. Her last sights are that of the violent lightning piercing through the stormy clouds above.